Okay, good morning, everybody. This is officially episode number 5 of the Dealership Podcast. We're the number one volume GM dealer in Canada, Kevin. Is that correct?
Yep.
Number one volume GM dealer and soon to be number one most downloaded automotive podcast. Frank, we're very ambitious. Good morning. How are you doing today?
Excellent. Thank you for having me today.
Good. Frank is one of our business managers. He's been in the industry a very long time. I don't know. What would you call yourself, Frank? Are you a finance guru?
More like an extraordinaire.
Extraordinaire.
Yes.
This is gonna be a fun one. All right. So tell us a little bit about yourself. I want to switch the format. I want to see what interesting things maybe you can tell us about the automotive industry. Just give us one fun fact
About the automotive industry?
about the automotive industry. Yeah.
It's an incredible industry. It's so lucrative and how anybody from any background has an opportunity to make a great life for themselves in the future, income-wise, if you actually put your mind and heart into it. So it's just one of those things that you don't need a college degree to be successful. You just need to have the passion and motivation to do it.
Wow.
Well, George in college is a degree.
Oh,
How do you get your own bike?
I was
Yeah.
grandfathered in. Thank you for bringing that up.
Grandfathered in. Well, that's why they changed the rules. That was a mistake. Alrighty, we're before we start off today, I know we normally don't plug ourselves, but Kevin, we're gonna get this episode out just in time. Right now, we have an incredible deal, the in-house lease on the XT5. I know we normally don't try and sell on here, but for those who do need an SUV, the XT5 this month, we have a special in-house lease deal. Applewood has come up with their own payment. It's cheaper than what GM Canada is doing. It's fantastic. So we'll leave it at that. You can definitely check out the website for more. So a couple articles pulled up today here, Frank. First things first, we kind of started the day, or Kevin sent it last night. It's an interesting video. It's, I guess there was protesters, not protesters, sorry, but in Hong Kong, there was a fleet of 45 high-powered sports cars, Ferraris, Lambos, Porsches. They were all pulled over for street racing. Do you think the police are bored over there, or what do you think about this, cracking down on it?
I just think they're haters. They see all these, probably all young guys, a lot of money there in Hong Kong.
Yeah, new money.
Yeah, and these $500,000 cars like just all roaring down the street. They're like, you know what? Time to pull them over and harass them, right?
Well, what do you think it sounded like? Just like an army of elephants?
I'd pay to hear those cars all revving down there.
It's funny too because when you're downtown and you hear one of those crazy cars and you're between like office buildings, it just whizzes through the streets.
And the echoing down there must have been crazy.
Yeah, and just the cracking.
It's just like Thunder Lane on NASCAR.
I can't believe with all those cars though. It's just they're all fairly new, high-powered. Supercars.
Yeah.
Some of them hypercars.
Yeah, the
Right.
McLaren. You got the Ferrari.
Lots of Ferraris. Yeah, Porsches. Yeah.
Incredible.
So I know in Canada they have. I know there's a group of guys called North Face Rally, and I think it's kind of cool. They do like a cross country, or I guess like a cross province tour. What's the other famous?
There's one that goes across the
Gumball?
United States.
Is that
the
the
Gumball? Yeah.
Yeah, and what's the deal? They basically you buy in, it's for charity, and you see how far you can get with basically in as little time as possible. Is that the premise of it?
Yes. And a lot of guys lose their cars or get big tickets doing it because you said it in the shortest time possible. Right.
Well, I guess they're still giving back one way or another to the government or to the charity.
Well, there you go. Well, the funny thing is those guys, it's just an easy way. Like, I don't care who you are, as long as you're in a car like that and you make a YouTube video and you get pulled over and you can say you're a part of it, like, it's so easy for those guys to probably make all that money back. Like, imagine you filming yourself getting a ticket.
Yeah.
Right? How much money you making?
Who knows what the tickets were for? I don't know if it states it in this article, but those people driving those cars, they were more bothered about their time being consumed than the ticket.
Yeah, that would make sense. Just let me pay it, right? Yeah, that's crazy. It's interesting though because I feel like Canada has such a cool opportunity. I don't know, maybe it's just too boring to do a cross Canada drive. Like once you get through Saskatchewan and Manitoba.
I don't know if you've realized it's a big country.
It is a pretty big country.
And those cars are going to need frequent gas stations. And I hear when you get up to the prairies, they're not so frequent. So there might be a problem.
Yeah, I guess so. But I don't know. It just kind of. I've always heard about those trips where guys would take motorcycles across the country,
Yeah.
and I always just kind of wondered about how cool that would actually play out versus how.
Frank's got 2 motorcycles. Would you do that?
Would I do that? Maybe I'd start a little bit further out than go through all those flat lands.
Where's further out?
Maybe get out to Alberta or something like that, and then start seeing some more landscape. Right?
That's a good point, because then you get more of the mountains in the background.
Exactly, and then you actually feel like as if you're going through something while you're riding versus a abysmal tunnel. Or
flat
nothing.
ground.
Yeah.
So it's funny, unrelated. I was watching a video. There's this British dude. There's this game called Geo Guesser, and what it does is basically it loads like a Google Street View of somewhere in the world, and you have to guess where it is. And I gotta send you guys a link to this. This British guy literally will sit down with a beer, and he's like the most British guy ever, and he'll guess, and he'll know exactly where it is, like to 10 kilometers in the world. The guy's like a savant. Like, he's got to be autistic or something. He just spends all of his time just guessing based on the geography, right? Yeah, it's absolutely insane. But I was laughing. I was like, okay, let me try this. Let me see how tough it is. I actually did pretty well, but it's like complete luck. But it was in Canada, and there was this one image. It's like, guess where it is? Flat, nothing. I'm like, I've never been to Saskatchewan, but
It's gotta be.
I'm pretty sure it's Saskatchewan, right? Yeah, and it was, but it was it's pretty crazy, man. Manitoba, Saskatchewan. There's one that was Northwest Territories, and you're basically just flat land as far as the eye can see, nothing.
Yeah.
So you would take do you have enough space on one of those motorcycles though? Would you be able to?
You can saddle.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I could put a traveling saddlebag in the back that really compartments a lot of, clothing and outerwear in case of different type of weathers, and obviously for food supplies and drinks.
So what do you do if it's raining super hard? How do you know it's raining too hard to drive your motorcycle? What's your?
When it starts to feel like little BB gun pellets.
Oh really?
Yeah.
So physically, you're like, okay, this is too much for me.
Yeah.
That's but I don't know, Canadian weather. Who knows how much you'd get? But anyways, EFuel, Kevin.
Yeah, this is crazy. I don't know much about it yet. I don't think anybody does, and I think Porsche is, they've kind of made a statement about it, but they're kind of keeping it a bit quiet. It's hydro-based fuel, so no fossil fuels.
Yeah.
They call it EFuel.
Yeah.
That's 85 or 86%.
Ethanol?
No.
Or clean?
Clean, 86% clean, and environmentally friendly, right? They're saying it'll be cleaner than electric because electric's you need to get the power from somewhere.
Yeah.
So they're testing it right now. Who knows what the price of this fuel is going to be, but they call it e-fuel. It's synthetic. There's no fossils in it. So it's pretty interesting that, we're all going the electric way, but Porsche's like, hold on a sec. We think we have something else. Right.
Yeah, so it says there e-fuels. Porsche's testing use CO2 and hydrogen ingredients and are made using renewable energy, which significantly lowers greenhouse gas emissions compared to petroleum-based fuels. So my question, and I know it always goes back to this, is obviously the amount of manufacturing that goes into creating one of these batteries and melting down the materials to make the lithium and the housing which supplies all the connection to it, but it's just food for thought, right? Are they basically just giving you, the juice in a liquid form? Obviously it's not electricity, but...
Yeah, but the more you read down, they have a few analogies, right? A Porsche driver or a lot of drivers, you pull up to a gas station right now, you wait, even if the gas station is full, you wait 7 minutes, 5 minutes, the guy in front of you fills up, he pulls off, you fill up. Electric? When all these cars go electric in these charging stations, you pull up and you got to wait an hour?
I don't know.
Yeah.
And then plug your car in?
Right now, I think that's obviously, you have really no choice but to wait at, even the superchargers. I get it, it's a long time, but it's got to be more efficient.
Right, and that's where, in previous podcasts, and I keep saying, I see the technology, I get the technology, I see there's a need for it because we need to save the planet.
Yeah.
But it's just nowhere near ready for everybody to jump on board. It's just not. You can't. People with busy lives, you gotta, you charge it overnight, and then you go about your day. But
I think that's a great point you made, especially with the busy lifestyle. I mean, you go to any mega city that demands constant go, and you got to move. Who's got time to sit around for half hour for a charge to get between things?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like by the time that S curve really hits, either two things are going to happen. The charge, the capacity of the batteries is going to get better. Somehow cars will get more efficient, or obviously the charge time. There's three ways, and those three different methods, obviously the quality of life owning an electric vehicle can be improved, right? And listen, with the way of cell phones, with the way of all electronics, it's just bound to happen. I don't know, the whole thing though, I think with petroleum cars, it's if you had the opportunity, or not petroleum, but these hydrogen cars, if I had the opportunity, somebody told me 3 years from now, 4 years from now, you can have an EV, and maybe you're gonna have a range of 500 kilometers, or you can have one of these hydrogen cars. I don't know what would be the safer bet, because I would assume that no matter what way it goes, it's probably going to be more electric. So that would be my fear, to be quite honest. If I was to invest in a new tech, I'd be sooner to buy a gas car than one of these hydrogen cars. It's a different story if it's going to be a Porsche. It's not a utility car. It's a fun car, right? But it's interesting that they're bringing something else to the table. And
Is
again,
it something that you think is going to get you more distance, more mileage, the way the e-gas or EV gases are going to go?
I have no idea. We'd just be speculating. My guess, if I was to flip a coin, I'd say no. But I'm no expert.
Right.
Frank, what do you think?
Well, that's why I asked you the question.
Well, man, come on. I thought you were going to give me the answer.
No.
Kevin, what do you think? Is range going to be, from a wheel-to-wheel perspective, synthetic fuels?
No, if it's fuel, liquid-based, you're going to get the range. Maybe the range is less than regular gasoline is, but still you're going to be able to pull over, put the fuel back in the tank, and keep going.
Yeah.
The charging of these cells are not there yet. And I think what will happen with these electric cars is they will be renewable in the sense that they're going to regenerate a lot of power back to their batteries.
Yeah.
It's the only way it's going to be feasible for day-to-day commuting.
Well, exactly, and I'm thinking myself, how many charging stations do we have that's accessible and easily to be
There's a lot more
reached?
going up. As you pull up to these malls, you're starting to see a lot of stations.
in the city?
Yeah.
But when you start to go for trips and you
Yeah.
want to go somewhere in the outskirts,
They're not there.
that's what I'm referring to.
Yeah,
It's not
that's
as convenient.
I think though once these commercial contracts start hitting, it's the same thing that happened with the marijuana industry, right? The government just dipped their hands into whatever tax rate they decided was fair commercially, and they just started kicking a lot of money back. I think it was more so a thing in the States, but obviously the ones that legalized recreational marijuana. I have a feeling if these companies are taking this big supply of lithium from the world, government's probably going to put some kind of resource tax or EV tax on them, and they're still going to be okay with it because they're obviously doing it for a reason. They're lowering the total cost of their fleet or operational costs. And at the end of the day, it's just something like that. Imagine one of these massive companies just kicked a couple $1 million. The charging stations that could go up in weeks, months. I don't know how long it would take. That's a different story though. Canadian infrastructure building it versus the money to have it. I don't know, but I don't know. EFuel. So Kevin, you're a road tripping fanatic.
Love being on the road.
So first of all, what's the fastest for the viewers? What's the fastest time you've ever been able to drive to Florida?
2,300 kilometers.
Okay.
In 21 hours and 20 minutes.
So why'd you have to tell us the kilometers? We don't want. I'm doing the math there. There's.
Oh, because Florida's pretty long. You can be Jacksonville, Florida, or
Fair
you can
enough.
be the Keys. There's a long distance between those two.
So how many hours? 23 hours?
No, 21, just shy of 21 and a half hours. Door to
And
door.
that's in one shot, two shots.
One shot.
Wow.
How much were you Were you doing the gumball race? Is
No,
that?
no, there's no gumball race.
have you ever considered it?
Oh, I have. If I'd have a
New
cool
lanes.
car like that, I'd love to do something like that. I don't know how your back would feel being in a sports car that long and that far. But those guys stop. They have a lot of pit stops where they sleep, and then they get going again in the morning.
I feel like that drive to Florida is always going to be something that especially for Canadians, always becomes kind of like I don't want to say a ritual.
It's part of the vacation.
Yeah, it's like it starts as soon as you are
on the way back. I always take a couple days because I
Yeah.
just chill out on the way back. On the way down, I just want to get there. I leave middle of the night, usually
Yeah.
after midnight, so I hit no traffic, and I'm usually there before midnight.
Okay, so we're going to throw up this article here. So this is just Sake Maxis V90 Villa. So I don't know what exactly kind of brand we got here, but he kind of presents the idea.
Looks like something Elon Musk would live in.
Yeah, self-sustainable, but it's kind of cool. Like it just taking this at face value, kind of looking at the concept. Would this be something that you would want to drive down to Florida with?
Yeah, for sure.
Like it's so
100%.
neat. Imagine too, it's got.
I wouldn't go in 21 hours. I would take 2-3 days in that because there's the comfort of you're in a home.
Yeah, like that'd be so cool too, especially.
And it doesn't look that big. When I mean big, like wheelbase, it's not like one of those big motorhome buses, right?
Yeah, but it'd be so cool if in the future.
I wouldn't even drive. Get the wife to drive that. I'd be comfy in the back.
Just drinking beers, yeah.
Playing Xbox or something.
Well, the cool thing is,
Are we there yet?
imagine this thing had self-driving too. Like I'm sure that once you kind of get through some of the states, like the drive is pretty straightforward to Florida. Basically, just keep taking the same highway. Is there anything tricky about it, or?
No, there's many other routes. There's many routes you can take. Yeah, there's some scenic stuff you can go through the mountains in Pennsylvania, Virginia. Then there's the mountains in Tennessee, Kentucky, which are the Smoky Mountains, which are cool too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of scenic spots you can stop.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of places. There's a lot of KOA campgrounds as you go through there. And
That you could stop and hang out.
stop, yeah.
I love
Stop and meet Billy.
I love the idea of just looking at this. Can you imagine if it was somehow legal to be up here while it was moving and it was just like a tower, like on a boat? Hey,
wouldn't be good.
just dream. You could crack beers.
Wouldn't be good. See, there you go. You're getting into the not good part. The beers just starts to lead to other stuff.
Yeah, shouting up top.
Roadkill.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool though. But the RVs of the future is just, it's kind of neat to think about. So what was the? I know there's a company, and I saw ads only this summer, but basically it was kind of like the whole idea you can rent out an RV, but it was more like Airbnb style, that if you're an RV owner, you can put your thing online.
Actually, RV rentals is a big thing here in Canada.
But isn't it expensive relative to what you get?
To be honest, I inquired years and years ago, and I can't remember what the pricing is. I've heard it can be expensive, but
Yeah.
you got to remember, so you're renting a vehicle,
Yeah.
and you're renting your cottage all in one,
That's true.
and you hit the road. Like you can go, let's say, out east, and I think it's RV Canada or something, or RV Rent, or Rent Canada RV, something like that. And you see a lot of them on the road in the summers. But you grab your family. All you need to do is grab your supplies and your clothing,
Yeah.
and you hit the road, and you can go out east, and you can stop somewhere in Quebec, and stay for a couple of days, and then move on to New Brunswick and Nova Scotia.
Yeah.
You can just do that with.
Yeah.
It can be expensive, but it's also expensive to fly somewhere.
That's true. And, consider anywhere you're staying, you're going to be paying a certain amount. Like you're sleeping here. It's not like you're paying for
You
a
have to
hotel.
enjoy it,
Yeah.
to be on the road and stuff. And I think with the younger kids, that's where it becomes a cool journey.
Yeah.
And I think, and if you look at the trend, it's either when you have a young family, people
Yeah.
like to do it, or when you're retired.
Yeah.
Right?
Then there's like
it's the two of you, right? And you go for months.
Yeah.
Some of these snowbirds, they go to Phoenix. That's what they do. They have motorhomes. They just drive. And
Didn't we have one of our customers? He had one of those like modded out Sprinters.
yeah, this thing was next level. Yeah.
Yeah, tell the people about it. What was it like? What would the guy have done to it
It had a king size bed.
in his Sprinter?
In a Sprinter.
Yep, a shower, full kitchen, 50-inch screen. Barbecue came out from the outside. Barbecue would flip out.
Like on a little
full furnace, hot water tank. Awning. The roof went up to make it high roof, high ceiling.
That's pretty sweet.
Had an this thing was unbelievable, and it was diesel, and it was unbelievable.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That's incredible. I'm even having a hard time trying to picture that. Once you say king size bed, that's it. It's all
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty neat to think about. But like, I keep going back to this stupid thing. Like, I would love to just prop up that balcony and just park somewhere downtown Toronto, and just be parking and go to the balcony and just again drink beers up there. So is that?
Just pull that up to a beach. That's it.
But is that where does drinking and driving take place? Like if you're in a motorhome?
Behind the wheel, bud.
Behind the wheel, but okay. So if you're
behind the wheel and
with the car
you can't have any open alcohol in a motor vehicle.
Even in an RV?
Yeah, can you go in the back of a car right now and drink?
But like if you're on the top floor of your RV, I'm sure there's
it needs to be parked.
Yeah.
So it's no different than the boat laws in Canada. The boat needs to be anchored.
Yeah.
Or tied to a dock. It's got to have a washroom and sleeping quarters and a cooking apparatus of some sort.
Yeah.
Needs to be docked, anchored, and then there can be open alcohol. But operating any of these vehicles or pleasure crafts, you cannot have open alcohol in Canada. Now, you go to the States. I don't know what the rules are with the RVs, but I know what the rules are with the boats in some of those states.
Yeah.
You can drive with a beer in your hand, literally, a boat.
Really?
Yeah.
Probably the same states that you don't need a helmet for a motorcycle either.
Yeah, Florida. Yeah.
Wait, so Florida you can drive your boat and drink a beer at the same time?
Yeah, yeah.
But like, what's
just like us driving with a coffee with the Timmies?
So, but like, what's the cutoff? Like, obviously,
there is no cutoff.
Really?
Just don't be impaired. But
yeah, that's pretty insane, man. Some of the boats that you see, I remember there's this one kick I got on YouTube where it was I can't remember this one bay that came out of Miami. I can't remember. Haulover Inlet.
Yeah.
The Haulover Inlet. Those videos you can watch for like hours, and it's just people eating the choppy water.
Yeah, it gets really rough there. The Haulover.
Is it just that's?
You should put it on for Frank to see what it is.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's an inlet that comes
we'll
in intercoastal, but the waves get crazy. But you got to see the boats.
Yeah.
The boats is next level.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, Haulover Inlet boat
right
fails. It read our minds. This is hilarious, man. And
this is in Miami. Like it just turns like on a dime. Like it just becomes crazy rough. Like, but I mean huge swells. Like look at that. So that boat there, that's a 39-footer at least, probably a 40-footer. Okay, and it's getting beat up bad. Look, the thing's got three 350s on the back. Okay, it's getting thrown around. Okay, yeah.
It's so easy to watch.
It's so crazy.
How do they hang on?
Yeah, you just do. You got to hang on. It's a Nortec 39. That's what it is. 39-footer. Yeah. Yeah.
It's insane. Yeah. Some of the
like look at that.
Boom. God. One less kid.
There's one that there's one of these videos actually. The girl goes, not girl, lady goes right off like.
They went under.
Yeah.
What would you say? What would you grade that, Kevin? Was that good? Was that bad?
That was.
That looks smooth though.
Relative
that guy sent it. That was a good one.
Yeah, relative to the size of the boat, I always think that guy
did a good job. Good pilot. Good captain.
Okay, we want to see fails. These are not fails.
Yeah, no. There's if you go back, there's a real. Oh yeah. These
Why are the kids in the front?
These guys went swimming.
Why are they in the front?
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah,
that's not a big boat at all, and the Haulover is not. It's not that bad there today.
I think I saw in the clip you saw biggest mistakes when you go back.
Yeah, hit back.
Absolutely.
Right there, that one, the second one. Watch that one there. This is the one you got to see. It might be.
He lost his hat.
Yeah, no big deal.
It's just amazing that a boat that big can just skip.
Some people lose their whole tops to Bimini because the water's so hard it bends and just flies off.
Trump flag.
Lots of them down there. Lots.
Do you think there's open containers on that boat, Kevin?
100%.
Okay, we gotta. Ooh.
Back up. Yeah, right there. You got it right there. Leave it there. This is the one. This is not good. But she's more interested. She's more interested in her cell phone. There she goes. She's gone.
That's rough, man.
Yeah.
The slow-mo replay. Oh, the railing.
Off the deck.
Ow.
See ya. There she goes.
Oof. That's rough. She's gone.
Yeah.
And there's always a Sea-Doo, guys. It's hilarious.
Yeah, Sea-Doo's coming to get her. You watch. She's more
got my phone.
Concerned about her cell phone.
Got the video. That's unbelievable, eh? Imagine the thing that freaks me out is a boat that big.
That's a big boat.
You
That's
eat
not a
it
small boat.
and you go under it and it smacks down on you. Like that's just it's not fun to think about.
She's moving there.
She's lucky, man.
You
She
get
is
caught in the
lucky, but she's
propellers
hurt.
too, man.
She's hurt. That was more of a jet boat.
Oh, okay.
But
She's gonna be bruised for sure.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay, this guy's sending
that's
it.
a fishing boat. Yeah. But you notice how the boat is shaped in the front? How it just throws the waves?
Yeah,
And he knows what he's doing.
he just sits. What's that? The trim? He's got the anchors trimmed so he can sit higher. Is that what he's doing?
He's got the motor's trimmed.
Yeah.
Joint custody. Look at the name on that. They have really cool names on their boats.
Joint custody. That's awesome.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
There's no custody there.
all right. Yeah, getting back to it. So motorhomes, boats. Yeah, that'd be. So do you think, obviously, to fill up your boat, do you think you're ever going to have like an electric boat? Is that even ever going to make sense for the amount of power it could put out?
You know what? Boats are a little
Electric
different.
Sea-Doos.
So boats, pleasure boats,
Yeah.
traditionally are not used for commuting.
Yeah, like
You charge it overnight, you go out, play, have fun with it, you bring it back, you plug it in.
yeah,
You go out the next day again if you want to, or just weekend. A little different than a car. Cars become pretty much a necessity.
essential. Yeah,
It's an essential. Boats not, right? Down there in that lifestyle, yeah, boat is. Those people are on their boats every day.
yeah.
There are electric boats already, and jet skis. Like
I can imagine jet skis. Those would be awesome, right? Because you're on the water for an hour and a half max. You know, you're splitting it 20 minutes at a time per person.
It'll be a long time before that because there's tremendous amount of want for motors, right?
Yeah.
Like Mercury just came out with a V12, 7.6 liter, 600 horsepower outboard.
V12.
Outboard.
Wow.
Those one outboard. Not
Yeah.
a big motor, an outboard. They
Wow.
fit it into there. 600 horsepower. They just released it
Wow.
on an outboard.
That's pretty wild.
It is. Wow, 77,000 US each one.
77,000.
They're sold out for 20.
And the funny thing
they
is
just
that's-
released it 2 weeks ago. They're sold out.
The best part is it's probably not even the expensive part. The expensive part is going to be the gas bill.
Yeah, yeah.
That's okay.
But when you pay $2 a gallon,
That's true. That's true. I remember, man, every time we go to the States, I'm just always, like, disgusted is probably the only word I can use because it's so cheap. You can basically drive. Like, it feels like you're driving for free. Like, it's insane compared to the gas prices in Canada. I don't really want to go into that. But
yeah, there's no point. We get.
You go from gas to beer to booze. It's just incredible. It's the same stuff that's in the same bottle in the
Yeah.
same tanks, but it's just 3-4 times the price for whatever purpose.
It's pretty wild. So I got a buddy who owns a classy chassis in Peterborough, or their family owns it, and he was telling me. So he's one of the shop foremans there. They're starting to see more e-bikes come in.
So what do they do at Classy Chassis?
They if they're a dealership,
Of what?
motorcycles.
Okay.
Yeah, but they're starting to see more e-bikes come in, which is pretty cool, right? Obviously, their bread and butter is going to be your gas bikes, but they were saying that the e-bikes, like the ones that they've seen so far, like the guys obviously will test them out. They're pretty cool, and the range on them, like that would be something that would be pretty cool because like the range on a
E-bike, you're talking about e-motorcycle?
yeah
Because
electric
there's
motorcycle.
e-bicycles now too, right?
Yeah,
there's guys like riding the hills and going mountain biking, trail riding, like hardcore trail riding with
Just
e-bikes.
carries you up the incline.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Frank, would you ever get an electric motorcycle?
You know, I did look into that a little bit. It's actually quite cool. I mean, you don't have to worry about shifting.
Yeah.
Nothing. It's.
Is it faster? Like, what's the?
Yeah, they did take a look at it. It's just as equal.
Okay,
as a-
fair enough.
as a
Motorcycles
gas
are
bike.
so light to begin
Yeah.
with. Yeah.
And these things zip along, but it's just meant more for the rider that doesn't have to worry about shifting, or a novice person that's never maybe driven a manual transmission car, doesn't understand
Yeah.
the gearing and up and down. This is a perfect bike for them to get that same type of excitement
Yeah.
and enthusiasm in their life versus having to kind of go through.
And are the mainstream manufacturers making them now too, or is there a electric bike like a Tesla for bikes?
Yeah, it's like one company right now that's out there that's providing it, more of a super sport style.
Yeah.
But no, it hasn't gone into the other major brands.
I think Yamaha, the one that this guy was telling me about out of his shop was a Yamaha something. But I'm sure there's electric dirt bikes though too, right?
I don't know about that. That'd be cool.
Yeah, pretty cool. Man, looking at those boat videos, it's tough. At least it's a nice sunny day outside today. But, man, wouldn't it be great to go to Florida right now? So were you guys at the auto show, not this year, but last year?
Yep.
Do you remember seeing
That car wasn't there.
So hold on a sec, but they had a concept car that looked very, very similar to this.
It was a Genesis, I think. I don't think it was a Hyundai.
Yeah, you may be right. But I remember it had these headlights, and the rims
That's
were...
pretty cool looking.
It is pretty slick, man. I like how they're making... Like, it looks like an Audi from the back.
It does.
Right? It looks...
You know, and I hate to say it, but I'm going to say it. The two Korean big players...
They're killing it right now.
Hyundai and Kia. I don't know about killing it, but they copy everybody's design.
Oh,
you
that's
look at
true.
a Genesis, it looks like a Mercedes S-Class.
Well-
Like the Genesis, whatever, the coupe, the sedan, the big sedan.
Yeah.
This is an Audi. They do take a lot of design cues from the other manufacturers and just put it, make a tweak and make it their own.
Okay, so the GV80, we're going to do a fast look. This looks, I think this was taken, or this was designed by the guy who designed the Bentleys. Is that right? It was either the Bentleys
I'm
or
not sure, but one rolled over pretty bad this week, and the driver's pretty hurt.
Yeah, Tiger Woods. That guy, I guess that guy can't catch a break. But hold on, it was a Bentley Bentayga or something? The SUV?
Oh, yeah.
So check this out, side-by-side comparison. It's actually pretty, I think the if it's not the front, it's the back. Or what's the other one? With the Rolls Royce. I think it looks more like the Rolls Royce Cullinan. One of the two, I think from the back. No, it definitely doesn't look like that one. But man, the back of this car, like, it looks good.
Looks like a Mercedes lights to me.
Yeah, like they're obviously, I don't know how much they're paying these designers to come over, but these guys are doing a pretty good job. Yeah. Like this looks good. And the new
looks like the XT6 grill too.
Yeah, well, the new, have you guys seen the new Kia Sportage?
Yeah.
That looks good. Okay, hold on. No, it's Sorento. Yeah, that looks too bubbly. The new Sorento looks this looks like a Land Rover, man. And the back taillights, the same thing. Like, you look at the back taillights. Let's see if we can find it. It looks like the Mach-E. Just like the Mustang. The two taillights. Kia Sorento back. Come on, Google, show us. Like, it looks like the back of a Mustang.
Right.
It's funny that all these design cues, Mustang. Let's just go regular Mustang. Mustang back. You know what's funny? Yeah, there you go. Like, look at the taillights on this and that. You're basically just missing one, the third light right here. But it looks pretty identical. It looks pretty mean, man. So that'd be cool if they start doing more design cues like that for the Forte. But, yeah, they're doing a good job. You know what's funny? I was laughing. I think probably the most underrated words or most useful words in the English language, by the way, since we're typing into Google, watch online free. I know you guys are Android box lovers, so you don't have to necessarily deal with that. But I was laughing. If there's ever anything you need to find, you type it, watch online free. And I was laughing. I'm like, those are the three most useful words anybody could know who doesn't want to pay for TV. But yeah, pretty cool design cues, huh?
Yep.
Especially for an electric car. Like, it doesn't look, the original Priuses, let's be honest, they kind of are geeky,
Prius?
Yeah. The OG hybrid electric cars.
I don't bash product, but I can't stand that lineup. I can't stand that lineup. Honestly, I see one on the road.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But like, you know what I'm saying? It's
look at it. Look at it. Like
it looks geeky. Like I get they're trying to make it look.
It's beyond geeky. It's dog's breakfast.
Yeah. So, anyways, pulling up. Where is it? I don't know where we just put the...
that Hyundai one looks good. That Prius
completely...
is
yeah. Obviously, this is, night and day. Like, this thing looks slick compared to the Like, this looks like I'm buying carrots. And this looks like I'm taking you on a date.
But you know what? The price that they're going to come out with would be like it's buying carrots. You're going to get all that quality or that
that's
look.
huge. So 77.4 kilowatt battery.
Those are some pretty nasty specs too, man. Like, this thing's gonna absolutely slam. Like, that's going to be a cool car. Pretty neat, eh?
Yeah.
But yeah, I hope, anyways, I don't know if these designers just are copycatting each other, but I hope to see more of these aggressive designs. They look good. And I always wonder, you know, when you see a car on the road that looks really good, it's like aging. How well is it going to age? Whenever you see a vehicle that's, you know, looks super ahead of its time, it's just always such a risky bet. And it's funny because the new Escalades came out, what was it, like a couple months ago?
Yeah.
And as soon as you see it, you know it's a new Escalade. And my brain's already at the point now where I see a new Escalade, and I look at it, I'm like, oh, yeah, that's a new Escalade. Like, it takes me a second to register.
It happened to me on the highway yesterday.
Yeah, it's so funny how that happens, and like your brain is already used to it, and you see the old one, you're like, okay, that's an old Escalade, right? And it's just so weird how your brain just, you know, goes with the model cycle, and immediately, for some reason, just the old one looks unappealing. But it's weird, like if you were to go back in time and reverse it in the new Escalade right now, you know, and you took the 2015 style and you pushed it, I think we would probably think that one looks better. I don't know, just human nature of it all, but
I guess it's just seeing something different, right?
yeah, I guess so. So Kevin, you had some strong thoughts. USPS chooses Oshkosh Defense to replace its mail delivery trucks. You're a fan of this design, eh?
Yep, that, you know, that they took that design cue completely from Despicable Me. I could just see minions coming out of that. Like, what were they thinking? Oh my goodness! Look at it.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Looks like something that came out of a chicken. It's an egg.
dude,
It's from Despicable Me. I'm telling you. Somebody watch Despicable Me and say, you know what? We got the perfect mail carrier.
It's so funny that it's just the dimensions of it. Like they're like, we're not gonna have a 90-degree line anywhere. Like every angle has to be slightly goofy.
So their current mail trucks,
Yeah.
are not that normal either. If you want to call it that, they're not.
Sure.
If you look at them, they have that slant back too.
Yeah.
And they're not big. That's the thing. When you go in the U.S., there's post offices everywhere, and they're operated separately. Here, our postal service, you can find postal offices in a Shoppers Drug Mart, in a small kiosk in a mall. They have all these small post offices. They're just these big post offices. It's, you know, and you'll find 10, 15 of these behind it. Here we have one big central location in Mississauga, right? That big depot, right?
Yeah. I love the look of this car, man.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's breathtaking.
The field of view is just astounding.
Right-hand drive, so you can drop the mail.
Yeah.
That's how it is now there, too.
Yeah. So you just quick deposit, move along. Yeah, I love that Despicable Me. What do you guys think is going to happen to the, you know, traditional Canada Post? Just I'm curious, food for thought. So obviously, the way I think I was reading an article, and what they were saying was Canada Post is designed for envelope and, you know, letter and flyer mail. They're not designed logistically for parcels. Like, so
they do parcel
boxes.
though.
They do, but like their services for you know, big boxes and actually shipping products.
They're going to have
that.
no choice, Nick, but to adapt.
Yeah.
Or they'll be gone.
So how much?
There's no choice. They will adapt. They do parcels now. It's just they need to get innovative, you know, or like the United States Postal Services. The United States Postal Service have always had this style, like this type of truck, or let's say this size of truck. They're everywhere on the roads in the United States. They were ahead of the game. I don't know what the math is, or volume-wise in the States, but it'd be interesting to see how much parcels U.S. Mail does versus the UPSs and the FedEx. I know the UPS and the FedEx are big worldwide, but locally, it'd be interesting to see what they do, because I believe they do quite a bit.
Yeah, interesting. But I think in this article somewhere, they basically said they're committing 10% of their fleet to electric, which kind of seems small, but what do we know? Interesting.
Well, again, it's going to be infrastructure. That's why it's only 10%, because where do they charge them? How do they charge them? How fast can they charge? Maintenance. They don't want to go all in on it because it's not ready.
A
Well,
little bit of a test pilot on it, right, to see.
Yeah, well, imagine you're delivering mail, and you have, I don't know, 80 more, you know, mailboxes to hit. and your thing runs out of juice, mid delivery, right? Or, for example, I think probably one of the easier problems to look at is, you have a fleet of 80 cars and somebody plugged 10 wrong overnight and they didn't charge, right? Logistically, like you're out of business for that day, right?
Yeah, no different than a breakdown too, right? That could also happen. You just got to send another vehicle back out and assist, right? I think they'd have to be prepared for something like that just in case.
Yeah, of course. Anyways, maybe we'll polish off. This has been a fun one, Frank. It's pretty easy, right? It's pretty enjoyable.
Everything comes so natural here. It's fun.
Yeah, it's the more you do it, the easier it gets. Maybe the last thing we can polish off here is Jeep Wrangler. Thoughts, comments, concerns? Is this $75 American for a Jeep?
Well, yeah, they're not cheap. They're not cheap. Like a Rubicon, a Rubicon's probably 75 Canadian.
Yeah.
On its own, a regular Rubicon.
Really?
So you throw 392 in there, yeah.
Interesting.
I don't know. It'd be interesting to drive. Like they're not known for their handling, so putting all that power in there. And I heard they were going to do this, and obviously we know about it. But there was talks they were going to put the Hellcat in there. I'm just no way.
That's the fastest way to turn that car over, right?
First right-hand corner. See ya.
Nice, I love it.
Even that I think is overkill.
Yeah. Really,
that's a lot of power.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, well, Frank, would you like to come back for another episode?
I'd love to be coming back every now and then. That'd
cool. Well, we'll just have to see what the listeners, what our customers think. They ultimately will dictate if they want to hear more of you. But in all jokes aside, it was a lot of fun. Again, at the very beginning of this, we plugged the Cadillac XT5. For those who are in the market for a luxury SUV this month, we have an in-house lease. It's coming to a close, but we can get you a fantastic deal. Again, it's our own leasing program. It's better than the deal you can get from GM. So click the link in the description. We'll absolutely be able to get you a great deal from one of our top sales consultants here. This has been a lot of fun. Episode 5, finally we've upped our game with some video. We're getting better. Kevin, what do you think?
I think we're becoming pros. I think we're going to need a real studio soon.
I think we will need a real studio, and by the time I'm excited. By the time COVID is just kind of on the horizon, and it kind of already is, I can see the end of it. The guests that we're going to have on here.
You know what the number one phrase is? When this is over. That's the number one phrase.
Yeah,
I'm
probably.
going to. When this is over, I'm going to. When this is over.
Well, look, but we're starting right now. But we're going to be able to get some fantastic guests. I know we had Matt Cusadel on a couple episodes back. We're going to get more informative content for those who have questions, and we haven't even experimented with the live calls yet.
No.
That'll be a lot of fun, especially too if we could get to a point where customers and our clients want to speak with us directly. I think we could have some fun, answer some questions with technicians, and obviously keep you guys entertained. That's we promise to be the number one GM dealership and the number one volume automotive podcast, and those are 2 easy rules to live by. So, Final thoughts, boys?
Weather's getting better.
It is. I'm pretty excited. The blue skies make a difference.
I think it hit 10 degrees here yesterday.
Ooh, beautiful.
That's what it peaked at, and
Let's get some
from
green
being
Uh,
back
buried
out
into snow. You're starting to see a few green or brown spots. Let's call it brown grass in some spots. It's good.
Yeah, I love it. Awesome.
And probably next week we'll get a meter of snow.
Yeah, I know.
This is just a teaser.
Yeah.
But that's okay. I'll take the teaser.
Yeah, let's not think about it. Alrighty, guys. Thanks so much for listening. You check all the links out in the description below, and we'll see you next time. Thanks so much.